In this video, I want to talk about some of Fortnite's biggest no-skill weapons of all time, right? These are just those noob weapons that take literally zero skill to use, and if you enjoy using them, you're probably a bot. Okay, that last part is a lie, I love all you guys, but these weapons take very little skill to actually be effective with them, and you know what? I don't want to go on any longer on this intro. Let's get right into this one. So in my opinion, one of the easy contenders to be on this list are the anime mythics, but particularly the big, crazy, powerful ones. So that's Deku Smash, Hollow Purple, Kamehameha. I mean, yeah, honestly, I think if I didn't mention these, I would get absolutely crucified in the comment section down below, and you just watch the gameplay and you just think to yourself, how were these ever in the game? You really don't even need to aim them, right? Just push it in the general direction of an opponent and they will die, particularly Deku Smash. I mean, literally, you could give that to the worst Fortnite player in the world and you can kill the best Fortnite player in the world using Deku Smash. Like, it's just an unbelievable item, and all three of these are really. There is no skill required to use these items. You don't have to really aim, you don't have to be precise, you don't really have to like position yourself at all. Just press the button, everything in front of you is absolutely eviscerated. To me, that's the definition of like a noob Fortnite weapon, or should I say like a noob friendly item, and it absolutely takes no skill to use any of these. I don't think anyone's going to argue that one in the comment section. Another one that I had to mention, and I wanted to get it out of the way early on in this video, it is the spammy melee items, but particularly the chapter 6 ones are the most guilty of this. So immediately I think of the Typhoon Blade, the Kneecapper to an extent, Storm Beast pom-poms, even the Nitro Fist from chapter 5, right? I obviously had to mention those. And I'm not sure if these are technically like low skill weapons or if it's just the fact that I get so frustrated when I die by them, but it just feels like it doesn't matter how good a player is. If they get into your box with this item, you don't stand a chance, or should I say these items, and you can have melee items that are still bad, right? In spammy ones. Think of like Doja Cat's Thorn Ripper that was just in the game for the Fortnitemares event, right? That was not a good melee item. So you can have melee items that do actually take some skill to be good with. That is an example of one of them. And like I said earlier, I'm not sure if it's that these weapons just don't take any skill to use, or if that they're so broken that you don't actually need to use any skill to be good with them. This is another group of weapons that I absolutely wanted to mention for this video. I even asked you guys in the community post, what do you think should be on this list? And by far, the chapter 6 spammy melee items were all the #1 pick. And yeah, I would absolutely agree with you guys 100%. Now we're going to get into a little bit more of a controversial pick, and for me, that's the Wrecker Revolver from chapter 6 season 4. All right, like, I don't even really know where to start when talking about the Wrecker Revolver. This is a pistol that simply just doesn't take skill to use. Yeah, sure, you have to aim it. All right, you have to aim every other weapon in Fortnite history, but when I think of a high skill pistol, I think about the Mammoth pistol. I think about even Mr. Blasty and its exotic version from the new season. I think of, let's say, the DL44 blaster pistol. The Wrecker Revolver is not there at all. You can use it as a shotgun. It's incredibly broken when you double pump it. You can use it at any type of range. It does such good damage from like 40, 50, 60 meters away. I just like, it's just ingrained in my head getting absolutely pelted by the Wrecker Revolver by literal bots. You don't necessarily have to be that accurate because you get all the benefits of having a shotgun, but on something like a pistol, it's very spammy. You know, I was thinking about potentially including the Swarm Strike on this list, right, when I was going through the chapter 6 season 4 weapon pool. And yes, the Swarm Strike is very annoying, but it does take some semblance of skill to like actually accurately guide where you want your missiles to go. Like, I would argue if someone's 100 meters away, it takes a lot more skill to hit them with a Swarm Strike than it does to just shoot a regular RPG and just pray that it hits them. But the Wrecker Revolver is one for me that had to be on this list, and it's different from anything else we've ever seen in Fortnite history. I despise this weapon because it was just so good. Next up, folks, we've got another group of weapons, and for me, it's literally any minigun. It's RG's minigun, it's the Lead Spitter from Chapter 6, Season 4, it's Brutus's minigun. I mean, miniguns by design are meant to be noob-friendly weapons. You don't really have to worry about reloading them. I mean, obviously, they overheat, and you don't really have to worry about aiming. They're not meant to be accurate. It's just how many bullets can you spray downrange in a second. The bullets will leak through the builds of the opponent, and when you're going up against a minigun, you don't really have an opportunity to fight back, especially the Lead Spitter. Again, like I said, by design, miniguns, and to a lesser extent the LMG. The LMG has a lot more recoil, so it's harder to control, which is why I didn't want to include it on this list, because trust me, it takes a lot of skill to maintain that recoil from the current version of the LMG. Especially the old minigun back in the day that had literally no cool off, and you could shoot 999 light bullets in a row without stopping. I mean, that's absolutely absurd. And the Lead Spitter, to me, like, anytime I died from somebody with a Lead Spitter, it was just because they sat in front of my wall, they shot 250 bullets at 45 bullets a second, and I spectate them, and I'm like, really? Like, like, this is the guy that killed me. This guy's an absolute bot. Man, I'm telling you, all the get good fries, you're just trash at the game comments are going to be brutal on this video. I'm ready for them. Now, I want to talk about the plasma cannon. Now, some may argue, well, Ty, the plasma cannon does have a little bit of skill needed to make it good because you've only got 5 shots. So you've got to, pick really carefully where you're going to shoot those shots, how you're going to do them, and how you're going to get the most value out of each shot. Well, I would argue we're talking about a weapon that shoots through multiple layers of walls. You ever watch some top tier Fortnite gameplay? What will they do? They'll go down to your wall, they'll pickaxe it, they'll strategically take your wall, they'll make an edit, they'll take a jump up, they'll hit you with a shotgun, they'll close the edit. You guys know how it works. The plasma cannon says, you know what? Screw all that. You can be hiding in 10 layers of walls and I can shoot a single plasma cannon and it can go through all of those layers of walls and kill you basically instantly. I mean, how can this weapon be considered a skillful weapon? When I think of skillful weapons, I think of weapons where if you're a bad player, you're not going to be able to excel with them. Think about the majority of sniper rifles, right? You will notice the difference of a good player using a Reaper sniper rifle and a bad player using a Reaper sniper. But with the plasma cannon, there's no difference. You wouldn't be able to tell. This weapon is broken in anybody's hands, even the noobs. Following up the plasma cannon, we've got a duo, and that's going to be the auto turret and the business turret. And these are obvious to be on this list because you don't even have to use them. The auto turret will aim for itself. That's the one from Chapter 5, Season 4 that you would just put on your back. It would aim for itself. It would shoot for itself. I mean, you didn't have to do anything. This might be, by definition, the biggest no-skill weapon ever. And the business turret, I mean, again, it does the same thing, but at least you have to kind of think like strategically how you're going to place it, especially in zero build, right? How can I get the most value out of my auto turret? But again, another item where you don't have to aim it. You don't have to shoot it. You don't have to worry about the ammo. You don't have to worry about, reloading at the right time, right? Like, these weapons do it all for you. And yeah, I think they're absolutely fair game to be on this list. Shout out to a couple of you guys that commented this on my YouTube community post because originally when I came up with this idea, I did not think about these two, but you guys are absolutely right. They deserve to be here. Next up, we've got a shotgun, and yeah, guys, it's going to be the Gatekeeper shotgun. I had to mention it, and honestly, could I have just put every single automatic shotgun, right? Like, I think we can all agree, someone jumping into your box with a drum shotgun with 14 shells before they have to reload doesn't take much skill at all. I think the Gatekeeper, to a lesser extent, isn't about, being a no-skill weapon, but more so that it's just so strong that anybody can be good with it. I mean, throw on a drum mag. You've got the fire rate, essentially, of some of those fully auto shotguns, but you've got the damage of something like a pump. Again, like I said before, and I've said it multiple times in this video, this is a weapon that isn't necessarily the case that it's a weapon that, a noob is going to excel with, but it's just so strong that every time you die to it, it feels frustrating. In the comments of that community post, a lot of people did say, well, Ty, just put every single automatic shotgun. But again, not all auto shotguns are good. Like, I would make the argument that it genuinely actually takes skill to use the twin fire auto shotgun in Chapter 6 because it is so bad. And I would say the same thing about the Frenzy auto in Chapter 6, Season 4. Like, that shotgun was so bad that, like, it actually takes a good player to make that weapon good. So that's why I want to stick with specifically the Gatekeeper here as opposed to, other fully auto shotguns. And my final selection for this list, guys, from Chapter 5, Season 3, it's going to be the Magneto gauntlets. And while I'm talking about Chapter 5, Season 3, I guess I probably should mention I'm not including vehicles on this list, or obviously you have the mech here. You have the cars from Chapter 5, Season 3. You could even throw some medallions in there too. I wanted this list to be mainly weapons. The Magneto gauntlets are an item for me that kind of just gets like pushed to the back of like the history of Chapter 5, Season 3, because when you hear that season, right, Wrecked, what do you think about? Everybody obviously thinks about Nitro. They think about the Nitro Fist. They think about the most broken cars in Fortnite history, but you don't necessarily think to include the Magneto gauntlets in that conversation. But once you pair them with some of those items like the Nitro Fist, it's genuinely so easy to use, right? Like, if you're going up against this, especially in zero build, you basically can't counter it. And there was a point in this game when if you didn't have a Nitro Fist and a Magneto gauntlet, you were going to lose the game. This item in particular, your explosions will do splash damage. You also get a shield to block you. You hover through the air. You don't take fall damage. I mean, I feel like the Magneto gauntlets, again, are an item that anybody can use, right? Anybody can be good with them. There's no skill curve to like being good with the Magneto gauntlets. That's why for me, I think it deserves to be on this list. And all right, at the very end here, I want to throw something on here really quick, and that is an honorable mention to first-person ARs. Now, first-person ARs in Fortnite, besides the Chapter 5 ones that shot projectiles, I don't think take a lot of skill, but I do think they take some. Now, the first-person ARs are an interesting discussion just because third-person ARs, you could argue, take skill because you've got to try and manage bloom, but at the same time, bloom is completely out of your hand most of the time. It's just kind of luck where your bullet hits. Whereas first-person ARs, you don't have to deal with that at all. There's no managing bloom. It's just aim and shoot and hit somebody with a hit scan red dot sight AR. So I don't necessarily think first person red dot sight ARs are something that takes a ton of skill. I do think they take a little bit, right? Like you still got to be able to have good aim. You still got to be able to manage the recoil, all the things that go with, you know, shooting a Fortnite weapon. So I wanted to mention it on this list because I know I'd get crucified in the comment section if I didn't, but I don't think it's good enough to be in like the main portion of this video. That's why I want to include it here at the end. Alrighty, folks, thank you so much for watching that video. If you want to go rip me in the comment section, go for it, guys. I mean, I'm all here for the community. I like making these types of controversial videos because I like hearing your guys' opinion on Fortnite, right? At the end of the day, this is an opinionated channel, and what fun would it be if I can share my opinion, but you guys can't, right? So go at it. Have a good time. I hope you went on to enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace.